Stanley's Great Big Storytime Adventure. Type your name in the white box, then click the green play button to begin. Stanley and I are writing stories about animal habitats. Jungle Stanley. Stanley adjusted his favourite gorilla cap and smiled. Do you know what I like best about the jungle? Of course, I answered. You like the trees. Not the trees, Dennis, said Stanley. The animals. Some are reptiles, and some jungle animals are primates. Then you must like the trees too, Stanley. Many jungle animals play high off the ground. Really, said Stanley. I wish I could live in a tree, but I don't think my Mum would like it very much. Come on, Dennis, said Stanley. Let's go back to our home. Right behind you, Jungle Stanley. The end. Click here to read your story again. Click which story. Backyard Stanley. Stanley put on his favourite spider backpack and went outside to explore. Listen to that, Dennis, he said. I can hear Lionel. Your backyard is a home to many animals, Stanley. Some have fur, some live in the ground, and some like to come out during the night. A backyard isn't like my room, Dennis, said Stanley. I don't see a bed anywhere. But backyard animals do need a place to sleep, Stanley, just like you do. Take a look at that web. You're right, Dennis, said Stanley. Thanks for showing me. You're welcome, Backyard Stanley. The end. Click here to read your story again. Click which story. Savannah Stanley by you. Stanley splashed himself with his favourite gecko water bottle. Is it always this hot in the savannah? Asked Stanley. Not always. It cools off at night when the sun goes down and you can see the stars. And you can see the savannah animals that come out at night, said Stanley. The lion is my favourite. Look, Dennis, said Stanley. A giraffe. Can we bring it home with us? I think it would rather stay here in its own savannah home, Stanley, I answered. Besides, a giraffe might have a hard time fitting into your bathtub. Good point, said Stanley. The giraffe stays. We go. Good idea, Savannah Stanley. The end. Click here. Click which story you'd Forest Stanley. Camping in the forest is fun, Dennis, said Stanley as he climbed out of his favourite bear sleeping bag and stretched. Speak for yourself, Stanley, I said. I didn't sleep a wink listening to that owl all night. Let's go home. The forest is a home, Dennis, said Stanley. Lots of animals live here. Some fly and some swim. But the forest isn't like our home, Stanley, I explained. I don't see a refrigerator anywhere. That's true, Dennis, said Stanley. But our home and the forest both have families living in them. Look, there's a rabbit family. Right you are, Forest Stanley. Now can we go home? The end. Click here. Click which story you'd like to